The Notorious Debut of Lord Cerunincos by Laurence Raphael Brothers. With a final chord from the small orchestra, 16 groups of 4 elegantly garbed dancers completed their do-so-do and separated from their partners. The men bowed and the women curtsied. The quadrille was over. Reverend George Warren, THD FRS and Master of Ceremonies at Lady Waverley's ball, bowed and extended a white-gloved hand. The Honourable Jane Summers, the debutante chosen as leader for the next set, approached him, radiant in yellow chiffon, conscious of being a cynosure. She curtsied to the company and announced, "The next set shall be a country dance à la Espagnole." "Thank you, Miss Summers," said the Reverend. He produced his pocket watch. "It's 50 minutes past 1 in the morning. We shall reconvene for l'Espagnole at 2:15. From a side door to the ballroom, Lord Cerunincos entered. 7 feet tall, with a majestic buck's head. His antlers extended another 2 feet into the air, requiring him to duck on entering. His awesome physical presence was marred because he'd overlooked one of the buttons on his breeches and the flap was hanging down. Warren was relieved to see Lady Waverley, adept at handling such situations, rushing forward to greet him. She used her skirts to hide his error while she whispered, "Your lordship's button?" As the demigod fumbled with his unfamiliar item of apparel, Warren noticed young Mr. Smiley of the Home Secretary's entourage sneaking through the opposite door. Of course, a trickle of people entered the ballroom at night, all night, returning from one of the necessary chambers of convenience. But Mr. Smiley's furtive, blushing entrance, combined with his lordship's dishabille, made it obvious what they'd been up to. "There! You see?" Lady Agatha, Miss Summers' chaperone, hissed into Warren's ear. "You simply must do something, Reverend. His behaviour, it's outrageous." Warren was aware of the gravity of the situation. The recent discovery that the legendary Celtic otherworld was a real place had set all Britain into an uproar. It had perhaps been unwise for the Prime Minister to invite the most eminent otherworld lord yet encountered to England, but some such demonstration was politically necessary. The chosen event, a welcoming ball at Lady Waverley's, the nearest great house to the mystical gateway found hidden in a secret passageway underneath the Uffington White Horse. "Your ladyship, the fact is, his lordship is behaving with punctilious correctness. He was warned that our mores in Britain are different from the other world, and that under no circumstances should he annoy the young people in attendance. But that creature has left the ball 4 times already, and it's barely been 3 hours. With Miss Asquith, the Earl of Merioneth, Lady Gaunt, and now Mr. Smiley. He's turning the ball into a brothel. Your ladyship may perhaps be correct in her assumptions, but the fact is, his lordship didn't approach any of these persons. In each case, they approached him. And as he warned us, it is quite impossible, by the unbreakable law of the otherworld, for him to reject any sort of advance. But there are dozens of innocent young women present. None of us were notified of this atrocity. How can I possibly serve as a chaperone under such circumstances? Suppose poor Miss Summers falls under his spell? Conscious of the peril, Lady Agatha craned her neck to locate her protégée. But for the moment, Miss Summers was safe at the bread and butter table, a teacup in her gloved hands. "Well, your ladyship," said Reverend Warren, "I confess there is perhaps a bit more risk than usual in tonight's festivities. I should observe that however alluring and fecund he may be, Lord Cerunincos is, after all, only a single individual. There is a limit to the amount of damage he can do. I mean to say, if he were preoccupied." "Reverend! For a man of the cloth to say something like that!" Warren blushed. He didn't wish to explain he'd been in charge of the otherworld exploration party, nor the results of his own encounter with the peculiarly virile Cerunincos. Perhaps involuntarily, Lady Agatha glanced across the ballroom at the otherworld lord, who had a tumbler full of punch in one hand. By chance, no doubt, Cerunincos looked up and caught Lady Agatha's gaze. Their eyes met, and Lady Agatha gasped. The otherworld lord offered a small bow. Without uttering another word, the chaperone made her way across the room as if drawn by an invisible thread. On her arrival, she curtsied. Onlookers could see a faint flush of colour in her cheeks. Cerunincos bowed more deeply and offered her his arm. And together they proceeded silently out of the ballroom.
Pardon me, Reverend.
Yes, Miss Summers?
Have you seen Lady Agatha? It's so awkward without her. I can't receive introductions without a chaperone.
Neither Lord Cerunincos nor Lady Agatha had been seen for an hour now. Said Reverend Warren. I'm afraid she's otherwise occupied. However, as Master of Ceremonies, I'll be happy to receive introductions for you. Please enjoy the ball. No doubt Lady Agatha's doing so herself.